Karen Richardson, but my friends and family, some of them call me Oriomi.
Okay. What's your age? You could you could you don't have to give it to me if you don't want to. How long have you been living in Brooklyn?
Well, this time around about 8 years. And before that, it was most of my life, another 10 to 12 years.
Okay.
So a total about 20 years.
Okay. Where are you from originally?
Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, girl.
Okay. So here's the serious questions. What are your experiences with gentrification in your community, in your area? Positive and negative, if you can state them.
It's mostly positive, I guess. I don't find any. It's kind of neutral, if I can say that. My building where I live now is basically it's mixed. I've noticed a lot more businesses popping up in the area. So I think the neighborhood has gotten better. But at the same token, it's like, well, why does it take another race to come in for the neighborhood to get better?
Yeah. It's like they didn't care until they moved in.
Right.
Well, in my previous interview, the grandpa, he said that it had to do with more affluent people moving in.
Well, yes, and some people are coming from the west because they're coming from there. Yolanda will tell you better, but they're coming from places that have little or no employment or job security or job advancement.
Yes.
So they're moving into the neighborhood and living in groups, like 4 or 5 to an apartment, getting on their feet, finding employment, and
like musicians or actors, lots of artsy type folk. That come here. Yes. I have a question for you. Do you feel as though there may be a level of racism that comes with gentrifying urban, quote unquote, or minority majority, quote unquote, areas? Like, do you feel that like there's like a level of that?
Do I feel that? Let me try and clarify your question.
Yes.
You're asking me if I feel like, with the gentrification of this neighborhood in particular, do I feel that it comes with racism?
Or any type of, not just in this neighborhood, but maybe like in other neighborhoods as well. Like maybe in just Brooklyn as a whole, there's like a level of it.
Okay, I'm going to start with this neighborhood.
Yes.
I don't find racism here. I find that people are more aloof, though.
Yeah.
Some people will speak, some people are friendly. I find that the white people that are moving in the neighborhood, they're kind of apprehensive and they don't know if they should mix and mingle. Some of them are open and they'll, hey, how you doing? My name is Joe. What's your name? But for the most part, in this particular neighborhood, I find that the people are, you stay on your side of the street, I stay on my side of the street, but I don't have any animosity towards you.
Okay.
On both sides.
Okay.
Now, in general, I think that it can be, racism can follow gentrification.
Yes.
Particularly when it's black people moving into white neighborhoods. They feel a threat. That's hasn't changed.
They feel as though maybe they're bringing their property value down, or
yes,
they're gonna start trouble, quote unquote, trouble. Even though this family may be well off, maybe they're moving there just to give their children a better life or a different life. Yeah.
I think it's changed over the years, though, G. I think that stereotypical, the black person moving in, bringing the neighborhood down, and the white person moving in, bringing up property values has changed. I think it's more of a mixture, just like the true melting pot. And I think there's more acceptance and there's more tolerance and there's more oh, that don't matter. So what? A white person is on the block now. Half the building is white. There are white businesses popping up. It's kind of not. It doesn't have the same effect that it had back in the day. Okay. Back in my day when I was a little younger.
Back in I don't want to name any years. I'm not gonna name any years. we'll keep that a secret.
I'm 50. Since the question keeps coming up, I'm 50. What? 1 or 2? One of those.
You'll say 1.
Yeah.
You'll say 1. So that's why I wanted to ask you questions, because you've lived.
Yeah.
Do you think gentrification has gotten bigger in the past decade? Like more and more people are. Well, I think you've already sort of answered that.
Yeah, I think it's in certain neighborhoods, yes, it's gotten more prevalent. You see more of it, and like I said before, it's not as, oh wow, did you see that white person? I mean, I think the first person. I have nothing against white people, but like when I've been living in this neighborhood, as I told you, for about 20 years on and off, maybe more than that, and to see a white person move in. The first one is not so much, okay, one white person. But when you start to see a few of them, you're like, wow, the neighborhood is changing. So based on this neighborhood, I think, yes, it's become more prevalent. But I also think that it's not as drastic as it used to be. Yeah. Like back in the 70s and the early 80s, where it was like, okay, something's going on here. Yeah. It's more acceptable nowadays.
Yeah, it's a brand new day.
It's a brand new day.
How do you feel about Mayor Bloomberg turning Manhattan into a rich person's playground? Former Mayor Bloomberg, I should say.
Okay. There's a lot of things I don't like about Mayor Bloomberg. Yeah. He's a bully. I call him Bullyberg. I don't look at it like that. Turning Manhattan into a rich man's playground. That's what you said? I don't look at it like that. I kind of and I'm a driver, so I can understand the traffic headaches. I don't particularly like to drive to the city, but I am a driver. I drive on a regular basis, so I understand the frustration with especially if you have to drive to work and you work in Manhattan. But I'm a technician also, and I don't sit in an office from 9 to 5. I'm going from account to account. Yes. Wintertime. Yeah, kind of rough, but in the summertime when you're out there and you can sit and you can walk up to 34th Street, and right across the street from Macy's there's a little chair and a little table you can just sit and have a break or take your lunch out. I love it.
Yeah, I actually do enjoy the fact that he changed 42nd Street. Yeah. And he closed it off so people can actually walk around, because there's so many people, like tourists. And you can just sit down, you can hang out, you can relax. I actually really like that.
So that's my answer. I think that it's my playground too. I like it. I mean, I know it's a little rough with driving, but in the summertime, it's really nice to be able to walk. Like you said, 42nd Street is really nice. Yeah. 34th Street is cool also, because they have like a little section where you can just sit. Yeah. Against traffic and see, watch the people go in and out of stores, and it's just really nice. I think it's a welcome change from the rat race.
Yeah. How do you feel about the condos opening up around Brooklyn that lease over hundreds of millions of dollars just to lease?
Well, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that unfortunately people get how can I put this? People that are not making enough money kind of get pushed out. And I think sometimes good people that have been in their neighborhoods for years are getting pushed out through, rich people moving into the condos, and then the lesser rich trying to move into the apartment buildings that were previously occupied by these people that didn't make that much money. Landlords, my landlord sold the building. New landlords trying to ease you out of your apartment by a little monetary incentive, which is an insult.
Especially since if you've been living here for so long, it's like this is my apartment, this is my place.
Right. So I think it's a good thing in a sense that you know, we all have to, you know, life goes on, things change. I mean, if we don't progress, I think it's a good thing to have some sort of luxury condos in your neighborhood. But I don't think it's good when it sacrifices too many people. When it sacrifices good, hard working people.
Yeah. How, where do you see Brooklyn in about 10 years from now?
Little Manhattan?
Yeah, it might just be.
Yeah, I think it's already getting a little overcrowded. I think it's going to be like a little Manhattan.
Yeah, I think it's all. You think it's all gonna spill?
You know, like how they say the gays are the new black.
Yeah.
Brooklyn's the new Manhattan.
Yeah. You think Queens is gonna be the new Brooklyn?
I don't know. I heard on the news that people are they're starting to migrate towards the Bronx.
Yeah.
So I don't think Queens, because it's a two-fare zone in a lot of places, so people don't like that. You gotta take a bus to the train, or you have to have a car or whatever, take a little taxi. I think more so it would be a place like the Bronx, where you can, just like Brooklyn, you have easy access to Metro.
Yeah, and it'll take you right into the city.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Hope I helped you.
You did.
All right.